Okay, we're back on the tee again. I'm going to give you a little insight into probably the most important part of golf and playing the game of golf, and it's all about these, your hands. And no more so when we play the game of Hickory. We can start right away with actually the clubs themselves, and you might find when you get yourself your Hickory clubs, check out the grips, because a lot of the grips tend to be very worn, slippery, and also I've found very, very thin. Now the club, as it goes into the ground when you play Hickory, it's not like the modern club which bounces a wee bit so you get a little bit of help. These little bad boys, they dig into the ground much more, and you'll find it's difficult to hold on to the club at the point of impact. So I would recommend that you really check out the size of your grips and the condition of your grips, and see till that you've actually got grips on the clubs which are good, which you don't have to hold too hard or too firm, and also the thickness of the grips. Check that out as well. You might want to pad a little bit extra tape underneath the grips. I've got extremely thick grips, especially under where the right hand is placed on the club. And what happens there is when I hit my golf shots, I find that the club doesn't twist an awful lot in the impact area, and I hit pretty solid sort of shots. So that's a little bit about the clubs. And what about the actual hold of the club itself? Well, it's just traditional. It's not difficult really if you just follow some basic rules. Your left hand and your right hand need to be placed upon the golf club pretty much in the same position that your hands and arms hang from your body. Now we're all pretty normal, most of us. The hands sort of turned in slightly. That's kind of normal and relaxed for me and most of you guys as well out there. So try and get your hands on the club in a similar position when you're actually going to play the game of golf. And your left hand is the first hand you put on the club, and I think you've all read all the instruction books. You know where the club has to lie from the point of the first twisted bit there in your finger, just slightly over the top part of your little finger there of your left hand. That's where the shaft of the club should lie. Your fingers then close around the shaft of the club, and your hand and your thumb close down on top. That gives you a position which is very similar to how my arm hangs from my body. So that's what we're looking for to give me a neutral position back to the striking area. If I get my left hand too much across the shaft, turn that, way across that way, you'll find that when you swing the club back, the hand comes back to a good position, but as you can see, the blade is now in a completely wrong position, close to the left of the target. The opposite would be if I was to hold the club too much in the hand, like that. I would get the hand rotated way much more to the left. When I swing the club and come back to the striking area, the hand looks pretty good again, but look at the blade, we're in completely the wrong position. So how do we get the left hand in a good position? It's dead simple. Put this into your routine, your drill before your pre-shot routine. And I just do it nice and simple. I put the club across the front of me like that, with the blade pointing in the direction I want to hit the golf ball, and then I just take my left hand position there and then, and that gets me in a good position, rather than picking the club up and doing all this sort of nonsense or trying to do it down on the ground like that. That's just complicated and very unnatural. So do it really with a natural feel. Get the club in front of you, point the club in the direction you're going to hit the shot. That gets the left hand in a good position. Your right hand comes in from the side, mostly across the fingers, especially across the two cushions of your middle two fingers of your right hand. That's where the club should lie. And the bottom part of the right hand hold of the club, that should form a little, as you see, a little sort of throwing bent left first finger position, and your right thumb should lie to the left hand side of the shaft. That gets you in a position to control the blade when you swing and hit the shot. So we'll just hit another one there. And a lovely shot there again. So the hold of the club, it's the most important thing. It's pretty much that's what controls the blade and the striking area. It's the same as I said earlier with the left hand being too much there. If you follow after with the right hand, your hand's too much in that direction, you'll find that you'll strike the ball with the hands in the right position but the blade completely incorrect. The same thing if you have your hands too much to the left of the shaft and you swing the club back, Your hands will come to the right position, but your blade will be completely wrong. So your hands pretty much control what the blade does in the striking area. And do that routine like that. That would be your first step. Your second step, put the right hand on, have a look at it, see if it's correct. Get the club down to the ball, and then from there just trust your hands to swing it back and through. And that's 3 really good golf shots there. So that's it, guys. That's how you hold the club. It's pretty simple, and if you stick to these little rules here, I'm pretty sure you can manage it as well. Give it a try.